Video 43V, V for Victor. It's Gazprombank, and it's a must-see video. It's the 29th of April 2022, and the Russian invasion of Ukraine is over 8 weeks old. Now, one of the things that has been done by America and the EU and some other countries is block exports from Russia. But they went a step further and they blocked the payment for goods imported from Russia through the banking system. And they blocked the SWIFT payment system. So for example, if I bought some machine, a trailer from Russia, and I got it in, if that were possible, or I got it in before the clamp down, and I go to pay for it by trying to go into my bank and transfer the money to the Russian bank in euros or dollars, we'd say euros, I cannot do it. I'm in the EU here in Southern Ireland, in the Republic. It's blocked. And they also, this happened in Canada too with the truckers. I think there's an inquiry there where they were able to block the money getting to the truckers. Now, Ireland was one of the first countries to lead against criminal assets, the assets of criminals, drug importers and all these people, gangland crowd. And Ireland did a good job, and very little of this is contested in the courts. So that's all right. But to do it on people who are protesting is a different story. And to do it for goods received in good faith from another country, no matter what they do, is a very strange and very new development, in my opinion, and one that will force some places like China and Russia and India to move away from Western banks if that is possible. I know it's not that easy for them to do. So last week, actually this week gone by, only about 5 days ago, although it was muted before that, Russia has cut gas supplies from Russia to Poland and to Bulgaria, two countries, from Russia to Poland and Russia to Bulgaria, and the pipeline goes through Poland to Germany. Now you'll get a map online showing you the gas network, and there's Nord Stream 1 is open. That brings gas direct from Russia, and the other one then goes through Poland. There's one going through the Ukraine as well. And there's trouble over that. They alleged Ukraine was siphoning the gas. But Russia warned Poland not to siphon off the gas, let it through to Germany, but don't take it themselves, because Germany apparently is not sanctioned. So the question might come to your mind, and if you want to pause this video for a wee minute, just think of it. Can you imagine that? The gas is cut off to Poland and Bulgaria because Poland refused to pay for the gas in rubles, the Russian currency, and so did Bulgaria. So the question should come to your head is, hold on a minute, how is Germany paying for it? How is Holland paying for it? How are any country paying for it? The gas goes down as far as Spain. So this is the question. How does it come that two countries who refuse to pay in rubles are being cut off, and Germany, a big economy, is not? Well, do you know the answer, folks? I'm amazed at this. Like, the gas is cut off to Poland and Bulgaria. The EU says that it's all right to buy your gas or buy anything, provided you pay for it in rubles. Sorry, provided you pay for it in euros. So if I get a trailer from Russia and I go into my bank account and I pay for it in euros, that's all right. But then the banks are blocked sending that money to Russia, so Russia is cornered. Even you pay it in euros, Russia cannot collect the euros at the other end. So effectively, these European countries were looking for the gas for nothing, because it couldn't be cleared, you couldn't get paid for it. So the thing about it is then, you have to ask yourself the question, how can that be? How come some countries are being cut and others aren't? And what's the EU talking about? Well, would you believe it? What's happening is, and so the reason I'm trying to get my head around this is it's complicated. Hasn't the Russians have a bank in Luxembourg, Cyprus, and Switzerland known as Gazprom Bank? Gazprom Bank. Now, I have it here somewhere, and it's here. Where is it here? Gazprom. It's in the top of the heading of the opening thing. Gazprom Bank. Gazprombank, as far as I know. They have a bank. That bank is a privately owned bank in Russia, registered in Russia, and it's the third biggest in Russia, and it has 3 offices in Europe. And the trick the Germans and the others are up to is they're going in and paying for the money in euros in the Gazprom Bank. And the minute the Gazprom Bank gets it, it converts it to rubles. And Russia is delighted to get the rubles. And that's making them stronger. It's building up their economy and making the ruble recover, making everything go well. They're getting paid in rubles. So Ursula von der Leyen has said that that's all right. I should go ahead, that's all right. Actually, once you don't pay for it in one of our banks with rubles, you're all right. And I'm sure you can see the contradiction in that. What they're doing and the crookery and what the Germans are up to. Huh? Now, they say it's confusing. I might be showing you the same thing a few times. I'm only after discovering this, folks. And Finland wants to know what's the position. They want clarity. They're 94% dependent on Russian fuel. And Germany says if they don't get Russian fuel, they'll go into recession. This is the crowd that shut down the perfectly good nuclear power stations, that told us that wind energy is going to do the trick. That'll replace fossil fuel. And they have the highest number of wind farms in the world. And look at what they're putting in after all of this. And after all these lies, all they can tell us is, if we don't get Russian gas, we'll be in recession. And this is the silver lining of this tragic crisis where people are genuinely suffering. And I hate the way they're suffering. This is the thing. So the Poles are basically honest. There's no point paying them in Gazprom Bank because they'll just convert it to rubles and we're helping the Russian war effort. The Bulgarian says the same. The German says, well, we'll do that too. We won't pay either. And then they run up the road to Switzerland or Luxembourg, which is in the EU. They can go to Cyprus, I don't know, do they go there? But we'll say they can go into Luxembourg. They open an account and they're opening accounts to beat the band. They're just opening accounts at an unbelievable rate in Gazprom Bank. And they're paying the Russians the money they're owed in rubles, but they paid into the Gazprom Bank by means of euros. And Gazprom Bank converts it. So if they went into a high street bank in Europe, that bank could take the money in, but they couldn't send it on to Europe in euros. They can't go in and pay in rubles in a Western bank, in a Europe bank. But they can go up the road and go into Russian's bank, Gazprom Bank, and pay away, no problem. They are some crowd of deceptive cheaters. There's some crowd of deceptive cheaters. And originally, Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the EU, was reported to have said it's all right to do that. It's all right to do that. Now, just read you here a wee bit from Wikipedia about Gazprom Bank. Changes and deaths in the leadership team, 2022. On January the 29th, 2022, Leonid Shulman, the head of Gazprom Invest Transport Service, was found dead. Right? Leonid Shulman, the head of Gazprom Investor Transport Services, was found dead. On February the 25th, 2022, Alexandra Tylyskov, Tylyskov, Deputy General Director of the Unified Settlement Centre of Gazprom, was found dead in a noose. On March the 2nd, 2022, Igor Volenjev, I'll spell that name for you, Volobeuv, right? Vice President of Gazprombank, fled Russia to move to his native Ukraine, having been born in Okhtyrka, Okrita, I can't pronounce that, Sumy, Sumy. I presume that's a Ukrainian town, okay? Since he arrived in Kiev, he stated that his wife and his daughter, he stated that his wife was in danger, and that the death of Vladislav Avankev, now I'll spell that to you, Vladislav Avayev, right, was not murder. Now clearly this is another person, that's another death, was not murder. So it wasn't murder-suicide, this is what they call it, murder-suicide, imagine that statement, but an assassination. In other words, he was bumped off. He has also joined the Ukrainian Territorial Defense in an effort to wash off his Russian past. Right? Look at that. On April the 18th, 2022, this is dealing with that same fella, that Vladislav Avayev, Gazprom's vice president, was found dead from gunshot wounds in his Moscow apartment, along with his wife and daughter. The poor things. God, when yourself, your wife and your daughter have to die for your job. It's some setup. Although the Russian police classified his death as murder-suicide. What? That's where he murdered the wife and the daughter and then committed suicide. How do we know somebody didn't come in and do it? Igor Volobeuv, this is the fellow that's on the run in Ukraine, insists it was orchestrated assassination. Now you can make up your own mind. These are high-ranked people in this bank. Why are they dropping dead all of a sudden? Nooses around their head and all this. You make up your own mind. I have my opinion, and you probably know what it is. Now you can get that there by going into Gazprombank on Wikipedia. I've said enough. Just look at what Germany does and what the EU does when faced with the prospect to punish Russia of cutting off their oil and their gas supply. Just look at what they do. They turn to that bank, Gazprombank. They lob in their euros, and that bank then converts them. The bank can do it. It can do it because it's not controlled. Wouldn't you think that the rules of the EU would apply to a bank in Luxembourg? What about if it's in Switzerland? Isn't Switzerland supposed to be part of all this? Why is it allowing this to happen? I don't know about Cyprus. But you can see that if Finland loses its 85% of its gas from Russia, they're in deep trouble. Germany gets a lot of its gas. You'll get it there online if you search it, from Russia. And possibly oil as well. The United States can do what it likes. It has its own. Because they're after having 4 years of Trump where he produced all the fuel he could. They want to cut it down. So this crisis is bringing out this conflict. I have been on here and on everywhere else saying you can't turn away from these fuels using renewables. That's only a complete and utter scam. And there's a man on this channel who subscribes. Is it Johnny or Jumpin' Johnny? Johnny, I think it is. And he wants me to go into the wind energy thing, and I'll do that at another stage. But just think of this. Look at the bank that the countries of the EU are turning to overcome these sanctions. Let's see what happens in the next weeks ahead, next days ahead. Will the EU give instructions that Gazprombank is not to be used? And if that happens, not only will Poland and Bulgaria be cut off, but the rest of Europe, including Germany, will be cut off too, and they'll be short of fuel. Let's see how they wear that. Let's see how the green obsessives deal with that. Britain is only getting a tiny piece of its fuel if it's gas from Russia, and Ireland gets its gas from Britain, so I think we're not too bad there. We get a lot of it from Norway. So I don't know, I won't go into that, which you can check that yourself. But the point I'm making to you folks on 15 minutes, and I'll soon end, just look at who they turn to. Look at who these countries that's virtue signaling. Oh, we're great. We have shut down our nuclear power stations. Oh, we don't burn coal anymore. We're clean. We're clean renewables. To turn to Gazprombank, and you see what I've told you there, and you can check out more yourself. And to get round the embargo, they open euro accounts, and they get the bank to convert it to rubles. Why is the EU allowing a bank on its soil to do that? Why is Switzerland, who says it's cooperating, allowing this to happen? I don't know which of the three banks in Europe they're using, but obviously they're getting away with it. It's worked up to now, and I think that's very, very sensational expose. I think of all the videos I ever put out, you probably will not see that on any channel, because I just came on it by accident and a little bit of help from friends. But when you research even what's on the internet and the various publications, including I think the Financial Times has had reference to this, it's unbelievable that that's what's happening. All this sanctioning, all this sanctions, all this virtue signaling. Oh, look at the EU. We're great. Oh, we're great. Look what we're doing. We're going to straighten out this Russian crowd. And then they run up the road and they allow this loophole that deflates, if that's the word, or frustrates, or gets around the whole kit and caboodle. It is unmad. I hope you enjoyed that video. It's done in difficult circumstances. I hear the lollipop or the ice cream van coming up the road, so we'll have to get going with the noise. So listen, folks, thank you. Just give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. Unbelievable, the crookery and the hookery and the deceit and all of this whole energy thing is all based on one massive lie, and now it's been put to the test. We'll see you back for something. Bye bye. We'll see you. Thank you.